band. He's a very big Clive Barker fan. That's one of his favorite novelists, and he just thought the name of one of the chapters in a book called Weaver World was it just sounded Weave World, is it called?
I got
He just thought it sounded cool, and that's kind of where the name came from. We played a show with the band Garrison, and we ended up becoming friends. They were really nice guys, and we were really into them as a band, and they ended up liking us a lot. And we ended up getting together and playing a lot more shows together and stuff out of state. And they just kind of asked us if we'd be interested in having them send over our CD. They liked it, and after that, like a lot of other interest from different labels, they came about. We finally decided that we wanted to go with Revelation, and so
we went out to California actually and stayed with them for a little while.
Yeah, we went out to California and hung out with them, and they were nice. And then we came home and decided to do it. I think the best thing about being on Revelation is the exposure. It's so hard. We've been on so many tours, like, that we've just done ourselves, playing to like nobody sometimes, like in the middle of the country and losing money. And it's just cool that they're going to be able to help us get the name out, so people, if people are interested, they could, check us out, Well, there's always been punk rock and hardcore, just a huge music scene here in general. New York City hardcore, like just underground music has been so big in New York City and Long Island, just being right there. Yeah. There's just so much going on, and I think
the amount of kids is the big contributor to it, because like I lived in other states before, and it's the same. Every place is the same, I think it's just there's a lot of kids, a lot of bored kids, and
like it's definitely like bigger here than in other places. And I think over the years, as it got bigger and bigger, it just started blowing up, and now there are probably about 8 or 10 bands from Long Island that are on like huge national labels, and it's just insane. It's definitely blowing up, and it's just getting bigger.
We're different than most bands just because we don't have any pattern that we follow, ever. We never have, and we don't. I think most bands, even bands I like 90% of bands in the world have a certain pattern they always follow. And it's always like, it's not always bad to have that, but like they have a certain mood and a certain way they write songs. I think we're more open to like try different things.
And I also think just like because we don't have an intention, and we never had an intention of trying to fit into a certain thing to be more accessible or to gain popularity or anything like that. Yeah. Once in a while he does have to set me straight though, because you do get clouded with things, I guess, as like when the Revelation thing came about, and then you start thinking other things. But like, since the beginning, this band has always just been about like, like it's always been pure. Like when we're practicing in my basement or whatever, or in Lou's house, like the energy is no different than when we're playing at a show. It's totally just it's pure. There's no like fashion or image, anything like that's involved with this band.
Yeah.
This is definitely like a life thing. I don't want to ever stop doing this, and I'd like to do this for as long as possible. And anyone in a band knows it's hard to do this, and keep and have money and stuff. But as long as we're always in control, like I would never want to deal with anyone having control over what we want to do. I never want to get to the level where like even if we do get to play big shows at the Vanderbilt, or for people who don't know what the Vanderbilt is, that's like the huge like place in Long Island to play at. I never want to get to the point where like we will ever be like, oh, we're too good to play at the youth center in Mount Sinai or whatever. Like it's definitely more personal to play at a place like this, to play on the floor and to communicate and have a real connection with the people that are here, instead of having the band up here and the people down there. And it sucks when bands have that attitude. I'm definitely not into that, and I definitely don't want this band to be about that ever.